This next section of the video will contain how to set up a playmat when you're first starting to play a game. So basically what happens at first is you roll just like I said, you flip a coin or roll the dice. Whoever wins decides to go first or second. Let's say in this case I win. So what happens is you draw 7 cards from your deck. That's just the basic number that you have to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So what you want to look for when you first draw 7 cards is you want to see if you have any basic Pokemon. In this case, I have 2 basic Pokemon, so I'm going to put them face down on the mat so my opponent doesn't see what they are. And if you have an extra Pokemon like I did, you put it on the bench. The bench, as you can see right here, with all the pack artworks, the bench is where you put all of your Pokemon that aren't in play. This is the active spot, so this is the Pokemon that is going to be attacking first. Everyone who's not attacking, but all the Pokemon you have are on the bench. But if you say you didn't pull a basic Pokemon, you have to pull a basic Pokemon. Like, you couldn't use this Hydreigon, which is stage 2. That would be illegal. But you can use a basic Pokemon. But if you don't have a basic Pokemon, what you do is you just show your opponent your hand, shuffle it into your deck, and then draw 7 cards until you get a basic Pokemon, and just rinse and repeat. Once you have your Pokemon set out, you and your partner, what you do is you take 6 prize cards right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you leave these prize cards right here. This is important because this is what basically the game runs off of. So how it basically works is that once you put your... Well, I'll explain that later. Right now, what you want to do... Sorry guys, it's a little... There we go. Okay. So, both of you have your prize cards and your Pokemon out. Flip your Pokemon cards around. So basically what happens here is... that's your active Pokemon, so that's the Pokemon that's attacking. This is your bench Pokemon that's on the bench. You can evolve, but during your first turn of setting up your playmat, you can't evolve. But this is basically the setup of it, and this is how you start the match. Okay guys, so here's a setup that I have, that I just went ahead and made. This is like the first turn, and basically any turn throughout the entire playing, while you're playing. So what I have is I have a basic Pokemon out front, ready to start. I also have 2 basic Pokemon on the bench. I decided to get an EX out, right here, and put those in. So this is what my hand consists of. A Hydreigon, Energy, Zweilous, and a Pokemon Catcher. You can use item cards. You can also use supporters first turn, along with A-Specs. So you can use these any turn you want to speed up your hand. Basically, Pokemon Catcher, you just put it out and you can capture the, like say, there's someone with a huge retreat cost. Again, guys, I'll explain retreat cost really quick. The star at the bottom right there, that represents retreat cost. That represents how many energies you use to move off your Pokemon in order to retreat. So I couldn't just move him out and put in Darkrai. Instead, I would have to attach an energy, discard it, put in the discard pile right here, and move him out for my Darkrai. So unless you have a switch which allows you to move in and out, then you can't do that unless you have the amount of energies. So that's the retreat cost. So yeah guys, so just like I was saying, you want to have your basic Pokemon out to start, and then whoever's on the bench. You can only attach 1 energy per turn. So I have an energy, so I will attach that to my Sableye. You can only attach 1 energy per turn. Unfortunately, this kind of stinks because your energies don't get on very fast, but you can have Pokemon with abilities, such as this Darkrai, and such, but some Pokemon's abilities state that you can put energies from your hand onto the Pokemon, as many as you like, or as many times between turns, or you can move them around. So that's what the abilities are for. But yeah, so you can only attach one energy per turn. You can use as many supporters and trainers as you like during your first turn. The only thing you can't do during your first turn is evolve your Pokemon. So I couldn't just say, first turn I couldn't put my Zwellows onto my Dino. That wouldn't work. You'd have to wait till second turn, and then I'd be able to do that. But if I had a rare candy in my hand, then I could go straight to the Hydreigon, use rare candy, put in the discard pile, and evolve them straight to Hydreigon second turn. That's why stage 2s are kind of tedious, because you have to get the right cards at the right time. That's why this game is more run by basics. So what happens is you use put energies onto attack. So for Sableye, he requires 1 dark energies for his Junk Hunt attack and 1 colorless energy for his Confuse Ray attack. The colorless energy means you can use any type of energy you want. Just as long, well, yeah, you can just use any type of energy you want, including special energies, colorless energies. That would work. You put those out, and he could use his Confuse Ray. But for his second attack, Junk Hunt, he has to have 1 darkness energy. So 1 darkness energy for Junk Hunt. Let's take Darkrai for example. You would need 2 darkness energies and a colorless energy, or any kind of energy you want, to use his Night Spear attack. So you'd have to get 3 energies, 2 darkness, and then 1 whatever other energy. So yeah, guys, so you attach that. If you can attack, then you attack, but that's your last thing you can do. You want to make sure when you attack, that's the last thing you do. When you pull, and when you KO a Pokemon, so when your Pokemon has 0 HP left, that's what you use the dice for damage counters. So say someone takes 70 off of Sableye, you move both him and Sableye to the, or the energy and Sableye to your discard pile, and then before you do anything else, you have to put your Darkrai out, or Dino, or whoever out, and then you can, that works. I also forgot to mention, guys, the very first thing you do before every single turn is draw 1 card. Every single turn you draw a card, but supporters and trainers allow you to search through your deck to get stuff. But anyways, say my Sableye killed someone, then I would draw 1 prize card. And how you win a Pokemon match is if there's no more Pokemon on this side of the field. So if I had my no Darkrai or no Dino, and my Sableye got killed, he'd go to the discard pile, and my opponent would win since I have no more Pokemon on the field. But if these guys are still out, the only way I could lose, if I still had Pokemon in play, is putting, is if I kill enough Pokemon. So if I killed a regular Pokemon, say my Sableye killed another Sableye, I would draw 1 prize card like I just did. And this prize card, how you win is if you get rid of all 6 prize cards on your side of the field. That's a special thing about Pokemon EXs. See how it says an EX up there? Pokemon EXs are unique because they're different to the trading card game. Because if you kill an EX, if you KO an EX, that means you get 2 prize cards. So say my Sableye kills a Darkrai EX, I get 2 prize cards for that because it's such a powerful card. But yeah, that's how you win. You run out of prize cards. And again, attacking is the last thing you can do on your turn. And again, use as many supporters and items as you want. Just on the first turn, you can't evolve a Pokemon. And you most likely can't attack. 1 energy per turn, and that's all you can do. And then, yeah, once you run out of prize cards, then you win. Or if your opponent runs out of prize cards, he wins. If you run out of Pokemon on your bench, your partner wins. And if your partner runs out of Pokemon on your bench, you win. One other thing, that the only other way you can win is if your partner runs out of cards in their deck. If your partner runs out of cards in their deck, then you automatically win. Vice versa, if you run out of Pokemon cards in your deck, then the person you're playing automatically wins. Now on to the last section, which is special conditions. I've laid out cards here that inflict all the special conditions that a Pokemon can have. For example, we'll start with burn. The burn rules are, if a Pokemon is burned, put a burn marker on it, which, yeah, just burn marker, and I'll get that for you real quick. And it says, at any time between turns, the player flips a coin. If tails, put 2 damage counters on the burned Pokemon. And so, here, let me grab the burn counter real quick, and I will show you what that looks like. You've seen it in previous videos, but This is what the burn counter looks like. So there's that. And then the next special condition is poison. Which Crobat can, although I'll read you his attack later. Poison is, if a Pokemon is poisoned, put a poison marker on it. So you would put a poison marker on it. And then, at any time between turns, put 1 damage counter on the poison Pokemon. There are exceptions, obviously. Like, for example, with Crobat's attack, it says the defending Pokemon is now poisoned, but instead of 1 damage counter, put 4 damage counters on him between turns. So that's obviously a really good. And then the next condition is sleep. And the card I found for that is Hypnotoxic Laser. If you flip a heads with a Hypnotoxic Laser, the defending Pokemon is asleep. And the rules for sleep are, while Pokemon is asleep, a Pokemon cannot attack or retreat. And at any time between turns, the player flips a coin. If heads, the Pokemon wakes up. So there's that. Sleep can be very, very helpful. Especially Hypnotoxic Laser, because it gives 2 effects, which is actually a really good card, and it's an item card. And then the next one is Paralyzed. Articuno can use that with its Frost Prison. If it has a Plasma Energy on it, the defending Pokemon is paralyzed. And the rules of Paralyzed are, while paralyzed, a Pokemon cannot attack or retreat. And then at the end of your turn, your Pokemon returns to normal. So there's that. And then the last one is Confuse, which Sableye can use Confuse Ray, which the rules for Confuse are, if you attack with a confused Pokemon, flip a coin. If tails, the attack stops, and put 3 damage counters on the confused Pokemon. So that's all of the status conditions that are in the Pokemon TCG, and stay tuned for our next video, which is part 2, which is the actual playthrough. If you want to see a playthrough of how to play, it's a demonstration. So thanks guys, stay tuned and watch that video please. Okay, bye.